Duelists, it is I, Hellgear, and this is my Crystal Beast deck profile. As the duelist who first told you how to get the Rainbow Dragon out in one turn, I've been spending time in the lab making this a more consistent thing. And thanks to the structure deck support and the new card that came out recently, getting to your big bad dragon is a lot faster and a lot easier. So, as always, remember to like, sub, and bell, because we're on that road to them 2 racks of subs. And leave your thoughts in the comments section below. So without further ado, let's count the cards. Starting things off as usual, we have the 3 Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. And as a suggestion, I was told I should be explaining these cards as if I'm a duelist getting back into the game. All monsters Crystal Beast have the effect where if they are destroyed while face up, they can be sent to the back row as a continuous spell instead of going to the graveyard. On summon, Sapphire Pegasus places a Crystal Beast from hand, deck, or graveyard in the back row as a face-up continuous spell. Gotta love this guy. I understand now why we play 3. 2 copies of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. On attack declaration involving a Crystal Beast, you can special summon this card from the hand. Also, you can banish this face-up continuous spell to special summon a level 4 lower Crystal Beast from your deck with its effects negated, then add an ultimate crystal monster from your deck to your hand. So this gets you a crystal on deck and the Rainbow Dragon in hand. 2 copies of Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. On special summon, he acts as a soul charge for as many Crystal Beasts in the back row as possible to fill up your main monster zones. 2 copies of Topaz Tiger. I do this simply for the damage pressure. When you swing at an opponent, its 1600 attack becomes 2 racks during the damage step. For the singles, we have 1 Amber Mammoth Crystal Beast. This is our bodyguard. They have to go through him before they can destroy any of your other Crystal Beasts. 1 Cobalt Eagle bounces a card to the top of the deck. 1 Amethyst Cat can bypass your opponent's monsters and attack directly, but the damage she deals is half. And an Emerald Tortoise, which lets 1 Crystal Beast you control that battled this turn change its battle position. When 7 of these 8 Crystal Beasts are in your graveyard and or on the field, you can special summon your Rainbow Dragon. Again, the big baddie himself. We stepping stone with this guy. Hand traps of choice, 2 Ash, and of course the 1 Nibiru, since Nibiru is one of the few hand traps that this deck doesn't laugh at. And these hand traps are also good targets as we enter the spell game for my 2 cross-out designators. As a reminder to people using this spell, when you activate this, you have to banish the same card from your deck to negate the card that's activated. So, if your opponent plays Nibiru and you throw cross-out, you have to banish the Nibiru from your deck to negate theirs for the entire turn. Going into the crystal stuff, first and foremost, 2 copies of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. This continuous spell has 3 once per turn effects. It gives you an extra Crystal Beast normal summon. You can destroy a Crystal Beast in hand or field. And when you do, it lets you get a crystal spell or trap from deck to hand. And if a Crystal Beast hits the is placed into the back row, even during damage step, you can bounce this card and one card your opponent controls to the hand. Because these are once per turns, it's the reason why I only play 2 of them, since the third one is clutter. 3 copies of the original Rainbow Bridge. This gets us any crystal spell or trap, not at once per turn, including this new card that I run 2 at, Golden Rule. Yes, it is an equipped spell card, but it is also treated as one of your crystal spells. You place 2 crystal beasts from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone, so they become 2 face up back row continuous spells. Then you special summon a crystal beast with a different name than the ones placed from your hand or graveyard. Then this card equips to it. And then the textbook equip shenanigans about the equip leaving the field. This one leaves 2. Normally this works very well if you have either Ruby Carbuncle in grave or in hand. Because now if you have Ruby Carbuncle in hand, you can just special summon it and place your 2 and bring back your 2 back row. You should be either being close to winning the duel. If not winning the duel on the turn, you activate this card. Next up, 3 Crystal Bond. This also lets you take 2 crystal beasts, but unlike Golden Rule, you have to take 2 crystal beasts with different names. One goes into the back row, the other goes to your hand. And just like the Golden Rule, they are both 1 activations a turn. Next up, we have a Crystal Aegis. Aegis is an interesting card because it lets you destroy a crystal beast you control, and special summons a crystal beast token. The token acts as a 9th crystal beast, and it takes the stats of the crystal beast that was destroyed. Also, if a crystal beast will be placed in the back row, you can banish this card to special summon one from the back row. Hey. 1 Crystal Beacon. If you have 2 crystal beasts in your back row, you can special summon one from the deck using this card. 1 Crystal Blessing to reinforce up to 2 crystal beasts in your graveyard to the back row. 1 Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. You reveal an ultimate crystal monster in your hand, which the Rainbow Dragon is, by the way, to activate one of these 2 effects. Or, if you control that ultimate crystal monster, you don't have to reveal one, and you can use both of the effects. Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates will either, and this is also a 1 activation a turn, add a Rainbow Bridge card from your deck to hand, or special summon a crystal beast from hand, deck, graveyard, or back row. You can also use this to add the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart trap card, but we do not play that in this build. Field spells. Necro Valley just locks out effects that would activate in the graveyard, and the Tactical Advanced Dark to make all crystal beasts dark, to Foolish Burial a crystal beast from your deck if you would have a battle involved with a crystal beast and you would take damage, and your ultimate crystal monsters, when attacking your opponent's monsters, the opponent's monsters' effects are negated for the battle phase. A word of caution on Necro Valley, because that is a double-edged sword. Going into the trap game, we have one Tri-Brigade Revolt. This is just another one of the win conditions that I found out about this deck. It lets you special summon as many Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monsters from Graveyard and Banishment as possible, then immediately link summon into a Tri-Brigade Link monster. Half of the Crystal Beasts are Beast monsters, with the Wing Beast Cobalt Eagle. So you have 5 options to bring out a Tri-Brigade Link monster. Finally, we have 3 copies of the Counter Trap Crystal Miracle. This destroys a Crystal Beast as an Omni Negate. The banish effect you will rarely even use. That wraps up our main deck here. So let's go into the extra deck. 2 copies of Rainbow Overdragon. It is also an ultimate crystal monster and an upgraded version of Rainbow Dragon. While you can fuse 7 Crystal Beasts to get this out, you can also tribute a level 10 Ultimate Crystal monster to summon this. So when you do summon out your regular Rainbow Dragon, you contribute it to bring out the Overdragon. Next up, 2 copies of Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. 5. Even though we call it Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. In Japan, the Rainbow Dragons are known as Ultimate Crystal cards and monsters. You have to special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster in a duel in order for you to fusion summon this card. So you have to get out either Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Overdragon before you fuse this. And you need an Ultimate Crystal and 7 Crystal Beasts to do this. But you can also fusion summon them by banishing said monsters from field and or graveyard. And if you have 7 Crystal Beasts with different names banished, Rainbow Dragon Overdrive gets 7,000 attack. So it can come out as an 11,000 monster. And on the turn it doesn't battle, it has a quick effect to tribute itself to banish every card on the field, then you special summon as many banished monsters as possible. So essentially, this is the new Crystal Abundance to the old school Crystal Beast duelists out there. Xyz monsters, I play 1 PK Breaksword. Tributing a Crystal Beast you control is a much better cost, because it blasts 1 card you control and a card your opponent controls. Usually people have PK Breaksword blast itself, but if you have a Crystal Beast in your back row that you don't mind blasting, you can keep this out to take out your opponent's card and swing at them. 1 Exciton Knight because it's the budget Zeus. 1 Douglas the Timeless. This guy, man, ooh. You detach 2 materials and then you activate one of its 3 effects. You can either boost up the strength of a monster, draw 2, then discard 2 at the cost of your battle phase, or you can skip your main phase 1 and special summon a monster from your graveyard in defense. All 3 of the effects mean you skip your next draw phase. So your next draw or battle phase, which isn't so bad. I play a Heartland Draco because your opponent cannot target it for attacks if you control a spell, which is very good for Crystal Beasts in the back row. You can detach a material from this. It's the only card that can attack this turn, but it can attack directly. And at 2,000, that's 2 turns where you can hit 50% of your opponent's life. Nightmare Engine, self-explanatory. And for the Tri-Brigade Revolt, the 3 Tri-Brigade cards. Ferrijit gives you an extra draw. That's what you're mainly using her for. Rugal the Silver Sheller has a quick effect that special summons any beast variant level 4 from your hand on your opponent's main phase with the effects negated, and it's returned to your hand during the end step. It also nerfs your opponent's monsters by 300 attack for each of your beast variant monsters. Shiraig the Ominous Omen can special summon one of your various beast variant monsters once per turn, and any of them special summoned to a zone it points to allows you to banish a card your opponent controls. This is non-targeted spot removal. Folks, non-targeted spot removal. 1 Saryuja. I love this to draw 4 and discard 3. And finally, Mr. Zelandis himself, who on special summon literally nukes the entire board, and you special summon as many monsters as possible. If you do get the chance to use the Co-Link's bounce back once per turn, go for it. Usually when I summon Zelandis, I don't get to do the bounce back because you're getting everything back and you're closing out the game. That's all for this deck profile, folks. I hope you enjoy. Getting the new cards has been fun, and I plan to upgrade this deck with more Crystal Beasts as they come out. Thank you for watching, but for now, I take my cards to the box because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody.